Welcome to the Dram Amateur Podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the Dram Amateur Podcast. My name is Jason. You can find me on Instagram at dram_amateur, the home of Dramature, short for Dram Amateur, and the Dram Amateur Podcast. Thanks for joining today. Super excited to have you guys all here with me. It's been a busy week. If for those of you who haven't been following on my Instagram, I had a busy week. Yeah, sorry, reflected on it now. I was in Orlando for a leadership conference this week for work, and it was a great conference. We had people from all over the U.S. and Canada and Mexico and Argentina and Brazil for my company at the conference. It was great conversation. I got to meet a lot of people I'd never met before, which was fantastic. I got to spend time with my leadership team. So the people that work with me and with my organization, I got to spend time with them, which was fantastic. The first time that we've been together in over a year. So that was really, really cool as well. And I was a presenter at the leadership conference. So myself and another member of the leadership team for our larger organization presented about psychological safety and growth mindset this week. So that was really cool. And I pride myself in what we've done as a team to support the people on our team with that. So I did 4 40-minute sessions back to back to back to back. Now I did have a 30-minute break in between the second and third session, but man, it was really good. It was a great week. It was a very busy week, very full days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it was very, very busy. Got to go out to dinner with my team and have some drinks on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday night too, which is really good. My larger team, I got to do that with on Thursday night. So it was a great week. It was really good. While I was away, couple fun things. I got a bottle in the mail, which I was super excited about, the new Holmes K bottle, and I don't have it in front of me. I should have brought it up. I completely freaking forgot about it. But I got the new Holmes K. It was they released 2 labels. One was a red label and one was a green label, and I'll have to do it. I'll have to take a picture of it and put it out there, or I'll talk about it in the next podcast, but completely forget which one it is. But Chicago Rum Ramblings is his name. He was the one who worked with a local store up there, I think, and they had it released, which is really, really good. So shout out to Chicago Rum Ramblings for hooking that up, because I have not seen a bottle of that here in my area at all. I haven't seen either bottle, so super excited about that. Also, a huge shout out to Chicago Rum Ramblings as well. He's on Instagram at Chicago Rum Ramblings. Him and I did a sample swap, which was absolutely cool. He's starting to get into tequila a little bit. So he had tried, I want to tell you, a Fortaleza. I don't remember which one it was. But I told him, I said, hey, look, I'm like, I have a ton of tequila. Well, a ton. I have several bottles of tequila, not a ton. And I told him, I said, I'll send you a sample of, I think I sent him a sample of every single bottle I have. So that was really cool. He sent me a whole ton of rums that I haven't even had yet. So a whole bunch of Holmes K rums. He sent me a black tot, which I've still not had a black tot. So super duper excited about that one. And sent me a whole bunch of other ones too. I think between the two of us, I think we exchanged, each of us, I think, sent 15 to 20 samples to each other, which was awesome. So he's got like a huge array of tequila to try. And I sent him a couple rums as well. I sent him the 2 Hampton Bird series that I have, and I sent him a Kahana Koa wood finish one as well. So he gets to explore rums a little bit more too. Some rums he hadn't had. Like I said, he hooked me up with a whole ton of rum, which is really, really cool. So big shout out to Chicago Rum Ramblings. Great. If you guys aren't following him, Definitely follow him, give him a shout out. Great guy, super wicked nice, easy to talk to. Really I love people like that. They're just like, you can just talk to him, pick up where you left off if you don't talk for a couple of days, but wicked, supporter of his channel. So definitely check him out. If you're in the Chicago area, I know he does like tastings too. So, or he has get-togethers. So if you're in the Chicago area, he does like rum get-togethers. So check him out. Another big thing this week too, which is pretty cool, is when I was in Orlando. Funny thing is, so a week and a half ago, there was a post on Instagram about a Hampton Great House, the original OG Hampton Great House rum, and somebody had taken a picture of it and put it on their Instagram. I was super excited about that, and I looked at it really quick, and I saw that it was at a bar. So anybody who knows me knows that one of my favorite bottles of all time is Hampton Great House 2020. Hands down, one of my favorite rums ever on the planet. I have several bottles because I'm going to be sad when it's gone, and I want to preserve as many of them as I can. So I love it. I've never got to try the 2019 was the original release in the U.S. I don't know if there was other ones before that, so forgive me being naive if I am. But yeah, so he took a picture, messaged the person really quick, said, hey, if you guys have that at the bar, I'm going to be in Orlando next week. They're a couple blocks away. I'm going to come check you out. Sadly, that rum was not there at the store or at the bar. It was somebody that had brought that in and had shared that with him. But he said, hey, stop in and check us out. So I did. I got to do that Thursday night. So my meetings ended early Thursday. And instead of flying out on Thursday night and getting stuck in airport delay hell from Orlando, that's a different story for a different day. I decided to start staying Thursday nights and leaving on Fridays. So I got to have a little bit of time between my meetings and meeting my larger team out for dinner. So I decided to go to the Bellhop in Orlando. So the Bellhop is in downtown Orlando, and I decided to pop in for a pour, and super, super glad that I did. First of all, the decor in this bar is probably one of the coolest decors ever. There's like a whole wall of like luggage. The chandeliers are awesome. The wallpaper's cool. The bar is cool. Like everything about the place is just classy, right? I think that's the best way for me to describe it. I think it's classy. So I didn't know what I was going to get myself into. But super excited that I went. So I went in and sat down. It was about right after 5 o'clock, so like 5:15. Quite a few people already in there. And then and the bartender was awesome. There was two bartenders, great people. I super forget their names because I am terrible with names. I think one of the guys' names was Mark, but I might be wrong about that. But anyway, tons of selection. So just some fun stuff on the rum side. They had 3 down islands. They had a Brazil rum, a Jamaican rum, and a Barbados rum. They had Hampton Estate 21. They had Helms K Guyana 2003, Helms K Fiji 2004, the Foursquare Touchstone, Foursquare 2010, Foursquare 2009. Oh, there's the Helms K. Oh, there it is. It's the Helms K Reunion Island Grand Arome rum. That's the one that I have. So that's the one I have. They have a bunch of the transcontinental rum line series, Hamptons, the Rock. They've got the regular Hampton, Worthy Park. They got Clarence. They have a ton of stuff. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I could literally sit here and like look at the whole wall and continue to read it to you. But they had the Trinidad 2002, the Le Maison en Valère. I probably butchered that too because I have terrible with accents. But they had a Trinidad 2002, which is a 20-year-old rum that I have not found yet. I have the other release that they did to Guyana. I think it's the Guyana 98, if I'm not mistaken. But the Trinidad 2002, they had it. So I had to pour that. My gosh, it was freaking fantastic. Super glad that I had to pour that. Absolutely super excited that I got to try that. I may not ever see a bottle, so glad I had that. And then they also had a fantastic bourbon selection. So they had a Knob Creek 18. They had the Bombergers, the Shanks. They had Elijah Craig 18. They had a Blanton's Gold, a Blanton Straight from the Barrel. They had Stag. They had E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, the Straight Rye, the Small Batch. They had a Parker's Heritage. They had a couple Four Gates. I mean, they had a ton of stuff. It was a really good selection. I was really impressed with the selection that they had there. They also had a whole bunch of new riffs. If you're into the new riffs, they had a whole bunch of new riffs as well. So super excited there. And then they also had a whole bunch of tequila. I mean, tequila out the wazoo. I mean, I was so impressed. And I don't have all of it, but I got to try the Fortaleza Winter Blend 2022, which may be now one of my favorite tequilas ever. It was that good. I got to try the Siete Leguas, the Décadas, the Blanco. That was cool. They had a whole bunch of other ones too. I did not take a picture of the tequila wall, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't. But they had some Siembra. They had quite a few Fortalezas. They had the Tequila Ochos. The guy that was in there, the bartender, said Topatillo is another good one, and I didn't try that. Next time I go, I'm going to have to try it. But I'll be back in Orlando mid-September, so super excited about that. But if you're in Orlando, downtown Orlando, go check out Bellhop. Great place. I think you guys will really like it. All right, so in this episode today, we are going to have a little bit of fun. And I'll be honest with you, this was a little hard for me. I have a list of bottles and a couple different things. So I have a list of things, and I've matched bottles to it. This is going to be, like I said, hard for me because what I did was I only did it with my bourbon and rye collection. I did not do this with my tequila collection or my rum collection or my Armagnac collection or my Scotch collection. I didn't combine them all. I said, because that would have been easy, right? I have a lot of as many bottles that they have, it would have been easy. And for me, a lot of those bottles that I do have are rarer bottles, harder to find. So some of this list would have been easier to do for me. But I said, you know what? I'm going to make it challenging. I'm not going to make this easy on myself. I'm going to make it challenging, and I'm going to give it a shot. So there's a bunch of bottles on the floor, so bear with me as I get through this list. But I thought it'd be fun to kind of talk about this list, talk about some of these things on here, and maybe tell some stories if I get a chance. So let's go. All right, so the list, I got it off of Instagram. It's on a bunch of videos. What I'll probably end up doing is actually do a video of all these too, and probably do it with the background. But shout out to whoever made this. But yeah, so first one is my go-to daily pour. So this one has a bunch of scribbles and crossouts next to it, and it's because I was struggling to find bottles to get there that wouldn't go in all the other sections. Actually, just maybe one section. And I chose between 3 bottles. I just literally crossed one out from another section because I forgot that I had it. So I had to shift some things around. But my go-to daily pour. So if I were to have my choice of a daily pour, it would be either Wild Turkey 101 or Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Either one. I have the new bottle. I think I have the new bottle. Yeah, I do. I have the new bottle of Wild Turkey 101, which, gosh, I had this thing forever. I still haven't even opened it yet. I don't know why, because it's just sitting on my shelf, with the etched turkey on it. I had my last bottle of 101 was actually one of the older bottles. I had actually found it with like the entire turkey printed on the label. I had it, but I drank it, obviously, because it's really freaking good. But I remember seeing a video one time too that the new bottle style of Wild Turkey 101 also comes with a different juice inside. I think I saw somebody do a tasting one time comparing the two, and the Wild Turkey, the new bottle 101 with the etched turkey on the glass, or I should say embossed. I guess it's not etched, it's embossed. It's supposedly sweeter, if I'm not mistaken. And now I wish I had had a bottle of the old label Wild Turkey 101, because that would be pretty cool to compare it to. But yeah, this bottle's still not even cracked yet. Still got the friggin' plastic on it. I don't know why I haven't cracked it. It's probably because I have so much other shit that I drink. But yeah, this stuff's great. I love it. And rare breed too, right? I think the thing I like about the two of them is that you can choose your pour based on your mood, because one of them is proofy. The rare breed's obviously a higher proof than the Wild Turkey 101. So just depending on your night, it might depend. So fun stuff there. The other honorable mention I'll have in that category, and I guarantee you all are already going to know the story about this, which I only have 2 bottles of it left. So I have not enjoyed it as much as I wish I could. The Old Forester 1920. The old label. I'm telling you, there's a difference. If you don't believe me, find yourself a bottle of Old Forester 1920 old label and Old Forester 1920 new label, and I will guarantee you see a difference. The 1920 new label is harsher than the old label. There's an astringency to it that is different than the Old Forester 1920 old label. I promise you there is. I know that there is, because the Old Forester 1920 old label is one of my favorite pours. But fun fact, I was never a fan of the old label Old Forester 1910. Never. I did not like it. However, the new label Old Forester 1910 is different than the old label 1910. I actually like it more. It's sweeter. It's got a more different flavor to it. So I actually like it a little bit more than the new label than the old label there. So those are my 3. So my daily pours, Wild Turkey 101 and Rare Breed. Do I drink them every day? No. If I had to, yes. It's because I have too many damn bottles in my collection that I don't drink them every day. But my Old Forester 1920 is my honorable mention. The old label, I've got 2 bottles left. I've cracked one of them and just enjoying it slowly, because once it's gone forever. So, all right, next bottle, most recent bottle added to my collection. Hold on, I gotta find it on the floor first. That's what the dead air is on this thing. God, that's a lot of dead air. It is an Old Forester single barrel proof rye, or barrel strength rye. Super duper excited to find this. It is the one with the green label on it. I am a big Old Forester fan. I think my 2 favorite distilleries are probably Old Forester and Wild Turkey. I sit here and think if there's others, right? There's others I like. But these 2 are probably my favorite ones. So this is, and I think I've talked about this already. So this is a Warehouse K Floor 2. I know I've seen some people with Warehouse K Floor 7s. I would love to try a Warehouse K at a higher floor. But this is 128.5 proof, and it is really, really good. I love this bottle. I'm so happy I found it at a liquor store. It was a little bit more than MSRP, but you know what? I never see them. And actually, no, that's not true. The last time I saw one of these, it was $399, and I saw it in Chattanooga area. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not worth it. So this was just a little bit more than MSRP. Fantastic pour. Love this stuff. Definitely super excited to have it. If you have yourself a bottle, congratulations. If you don't, and if you find one, definitely buy one. I think it's well worth the money. Not $399, but MSRP or a little bit over MSRP. I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. All right, I gotta do faster with the bottle. Put the bottle on the floor. All right. Next one, weirdest but still good. So this one's a little difficult for me because what do you mean by weird? Like the bottle, the juice inside, the brand, what is it, right? So I went with the juice inside. God, here I am trying to find the bottle. I need to do better with this. I need like a shelf in front of me. All right, found it. So weirdest. Okay. The bottle and the brand are not weird. All right. So this is a single barrel cask strength master's pick, aged 14 years. It is distilled and aged in Kentucky, and it's bottled by Bull Run Distillery out of Portland. It is weird because, and let me share with you some statistics here. So this is bottle number 12 of 183. And this is 64.3% 128.6 proof. So why did this get put in the weird category? Because it has a coconut note to it. Yeah. Right? You just all go, what? Swear to God. So fun story about this. When I got together with my buddies, Pines, Pipes, and Drams, I think had this bottle originally. And he brought it over to sample at one of our get-togethers with the guys. When I had it, I was floored. It's got this coconut freaking flavor, not flavor, but it's like this tasting note in it of coconut. Coconut. It's almost toasted coconut. I just took a swig out of the bottle like an hour ago because I was like, am I actually gonna put this one in there or not? But it's got a coconut or a toasted coconut note to it. It's definitely, you know what? I am gonna go toasted coconut. It's because it's not fresh coconut or like regular coconut, like you put on like a cake or something. It's a toasted coconut. It's got a little toast to it. When I had it, I was like, you know what? I need to find that bottle because it's unique, right? It's one of those bottles that if you are sharing pours with friends and you want to have something unique to share, and their palates, I wouldn't say refined enough because I can even taste it. And look, I'm an amateur, right? So like my tasting notes are not very robust, but I can still taste it on the palate. So when he did it, I took a picture of it, and I had to and you've seen Master Pick at other stores. So like you'll see a Master Pick 15s. There's other Master Pick 14s, but I had to find this one with the same number of bottles, the same proof. And I did. I found one. So this is bottle 12 of 183. Super glad I've got this because it is really unique and pretty cool to have. So I've drank, I don't know, a quarter of the bottle, maybe even a little bit less than that. But it's really cool. I like having it. Like I said, I just took a swig of it a little bit ago and it tasted like toasted coconut still. So that was pretty cool. Super happy to have that one. If anybody ever wants a sample, hit me up on Instagram. I'll send you a sample of this bad boy. I'm curious to see what you think. So let me know. But yeah, fun stuff on that one. All right. I'm going to try to do put bottle down and pick bottle up at the same time. All right. Oh, okay. Next one's fun. Oh, can you hear the clinking in the background? Slamming bottles together. All right. Next one is one others most likely won't have. And there's a story why others will not have this bottle. And there's a story behind how I got this bottle. So I posted about this on my Instagram quite a bit ago. So I live where I live. I'm about an hour from Chattanooga. I've gotten to know the Chattanooga area very well and hit up a whole ton of stores up in the Chattanooga area. And it's something my wife and I enjoy doing. So we'll either go up for a weekend and go do stuff around Chattanooga and have a great time, have nice dinners and lunches and stuff like that. It's a nice little getaway. Or we'll go hunting for the day. Sometimes we bring a backpack of clothes with us just in case we stay out too late and we decide to spend the night up there. But either way, it's a really fun time. We have a great time doing it. It's a great way to kill a Saturday and spend some time together. When we're up there too, we also do lunches. So this particular day, we were out hunting a different area. And I remember we were coming back from that area in Chattanooga and heading into Chattanooga itself, like downtown. I kept telling my wife, I'm like, just find something good for lunch. I'm like, I don't want something fast. I want a good lunch. I want something pretty unique and special. So she found Main Street Meats in downtown Chattanooga. When we got there, Main Street Meats has a pretty fantastic selection of bourbons to choose from. They have quite a few. One of the ones that they had, and I was struggling. So there's a book. So I'm looking through the book, trying to figure out what I want. And I was struggling with what I want to try. And the bartender said, "Hey, do you like Old Forester?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Well, you should probably try our barrel pick of Old Forester. And it's called, it's got a sticker on it. They called it Lucille." So I was like, okay. I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. So I tried it. I'll tell you, it's the only thing I tried that day. I had a few pours of it. I think I had 2 pours of it. And it was, it is the most, to me, right? And I'll, anybody can argue with me about it, and everyone's palates are different, but to me it is the most different bottle of Old Forester single barrel strength that I've ever had. It's very, if I remember, it's like strawberry cream, like powdered sugar on it. And it's so freaking delicious. So this comes in, it's Warehouse G, floor 7, comes in at 64.85 proof, percent alcohol by volume, 129.7 proof. Has a cool picture, a cool sticker on the back. It kind of looks like a 1920s, like a woman with a 1920s like hat on, her hair. She's got a fur coat on, some pearls on, a feather in her hat. It's a very classy sticker, and I think a local artist did it. If I'm not mistaken, a local artist did it. But I started asking about where can I get one of these bottles, and from what I understand, is they were released at Riverside Beverage up in Chattanooga, but from the other part of this that I understand, that they did a very, 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 very limited release of it, to the point that this thing in Chattanooga is only available in restaurants now. So come to find out, because of the limited release, the owner of Main Street Meats, he also owns Easy Bistro. My understanding is that he has all the bottles himself. They only released a certain number of bottles to the public. It became an extremely hot ticket item. There are people that have sought after this bottle, and you can't find it. So I asked, right? I said, "Hey, can I purchase a bottle?" And the answer was no. So really kind of disappointed about that. Obviously, I understand why they keep it, right? The guy did the barrel pick for his restaurants. Could he have released more to the public? Yes. However, it's something that he obviously appreciates and enjoys, and he's going to put it in his restaurant so he can maximize the profit from it. That's fine. Business is business, right? You do you, and that's fine. I may not agree with it. I may agree with it. I won't tell you, but it's just a unique spin on it. So this is one of those bottles that to me was extremely special, and I said, I have to have it. I got home and I was struggling, and I asked I posted, I think, on one of the secondary pages I follow on Facebook, and said, does anybody know if they have one? Of course, that was in Atlanta. It's not going to help me. But my buddy said, hey, I follow one of the Chattanooga pages. Do you want me to post about it, like looking for one? I said, dude, I would be super duper appreciative if you could do that. So he did. A few days later, somebody stepped up and said, hey, I have a bottle. So he was a part of the original pick team, the person that I got it from, and I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he was part of the original pick team. He said that when he did the pick, they allowed everybody to purchase a certain amount of bottles, and he said he purchased as many as he could because he knew they were going to be limited release. And he said he thought someday that this might be one of those bottles that other people were looking for, that he wanted to share because he was proud of the barrel and the bottle of the barrel that they picked. So that was pretty cool. I was like, you know what? I'm like, that's pretty cool that you did that. You didn't have to do that, but you did. So he reached out to my buddy and said, hey, I have a bottle and I'd be willing to sell it. So you're probably thinking, because of the limitedness of it, I got ripped off. No, dude sold it to me for retail, which was super exciting. I literally can't and I told this guy 1,000 times how much I appreciate him, and who knows if he knows. or if it came across, as much as I was hopeful of it. But man, this thing to me is pretty special. It is probably my favorite bottle of Old Forester single barrel strength that I have. It may be my favorite bottle forever. I probably will never get rid of this bottle, even when it's done, because of the story of how I acquired it, right? I mean, you're talking about, the funny thing is every single time I go back and have lunch at Main Street Meats, I always ask. It is still on their menu. You can go to Main Street Meats or Easy Bistro in Chattanooga and try it. It's still on their menu, and every freaking time I'm in there, I ask, can I buy a bottle? And I'm going to do it every time until they say, we have no more left. But it's really cool. So this is a really cool bottle, really cool way to acquire it. And this is why I love the bourbon community, or just the spirits community as a whole, because the dude knew and was proud of what he had picked, bought some extra bottles because he knew somebody would be looking for it. And then as soon as my buddy posted that I was looking for it, he didn't even hesitate and said, hey, I'll sell it to you, which was pretty cool. So cheers to you for doing that. Really appreciate it. Great bottle. Absolutely love it. I have 2/3 left, 75% left. And I'm slow rolling it. Yeah, I don't even want to open it. But anyway. All right. Next one, the bottle that started it all. Anybody remember? Anybody remember from the first podcast? I mean, I want to tell you Old Crow, right? Because that's what I used to drink the most, but I don't think that is, right? That's the bottle that kind of started it all for me as far as like what I got into and what I was drinking at the time. But I think the bottle that started it all is probably Eagle Rare. If I think about what I knew of Eagle Rare back when I had gone through, go back and listen to like episode 1, you'll hear my kind of history about jumping into this spirits game. But when I think about it, Eagle Rare is the one. When I started back hunting back in 2020, the very first thing I thought about was Eagle Rare, and like, oh, I got to go find a bottle of Eagle Rare. And it's the very first bottle I got in 2020 when I started back into it. So I started before, stopped, started again, stopped, and then got back into it. And here we are today, still into it since June to 2020 or sometime around that time frame. But it was Eagle Rare. I think about it and I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Eagle Rare. So Eagle Rare started it all. I have, and I'll be honest with you now, I don't know if I'm a fan of Eagle Rare that much anymore. Back when I started, I never tasted the grapiness on it. But now I get a little of that like grapiness to it. It's okay for me. I have 2 bottles. I have a regular Eagle Rare and I have a Eagle Rare store pick from Total Wine. It's great stuff. If I can't find anything in a bar that I want, I'm going for either Eagle Rare or Buffalo Trace, because if they have them, it's probably the easiest one sometimes to find, unless there's Wild Turkey. Let's be honest here. I'm going to go with Wild Turkey, but great bottle. But that's the bottle I think that got me into it. I mean, how can you not love a bottle that is has a huge eagle on the front of it, like diving into the water? I mean, dude, it's just freaking cool. It screams awesome. So that's probably the bottle that got started for me. That started it all. So that's one. That's the one there. All right, my least expensive bottle. Oh, so this is where I crossed out Wild Turkey 101 because I forgot my least expensive bottle is a bottle of JTS Brown. Do I like JTS Brown? Probably no. It's okay. I remember I found it in Chattanooga when I was hunting. It's one of those budget bottles everyone tells you should buy. Personally, I like the old early times with the black top. That bottle is solid as can be, but I don't have any more of those. I gave them all to my father-in-law. I should probably go steal one of those back. Maybe I'll trade him an Eagle Rare for one. But yeah, it's JTS Brown's okay. Probably the cheapest bottle I've got. I think it's cheaper than Wild Turkey 101. So that's probably my least expensive bottle that I have in my collection. All right, my most expensive. So this was hard because how do you define most expensive? Do you define it by like retail price, or do you define it by secondary value? Like, what is it? So I went with secondary value. Retail price probably could have been either one of the Smoke Wagon experimental ryes. I think I have Char E or F, I think. Yeah. Other probably most expensive bottle was, price wise, was the Willet Weeded, the 8-year Weeded with the purple top, black bottle. I've got one of those as well. So those MSRP wise are probably the two most expensive bottles I have. I think I really didn't look, but secondary market wise is probably my Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, my Handy Sazerac, my Thomas H. Handy Sazerac straight rye. So this is 130.9 proof. It is last year's release. And man, I'll tell you what, fun fact, this is funny. I literally cannot stand Sazerac rye, Baby Saz. I hate Baby Saz. I have tried Baby Saz on a number of occasions at a number of different places, restaurants, people's friends' house. I've tried it in a number of different settings, and every single time I'm like, nope, not for me. However, this thing is absolutely delicious and fantastic, and I'm super duper happy to have it. I don't know why obviously the age, well, that's a dumb answer. I don't know why it's different. The age is probably a key factor. The proof is probably a key factor as well. But a fun fact, so I do not know. I think I've had this before with my buddies, Michael and Jordan. I think one of them had this in their collection, and I tried it before. But I went to a restaurant in Syracuse called Evergreen. So if you're ever in Syracuse, go downtown and go to the Evergreen. They have a fantastic selection of all different kind of spirits. And for my luck, they had Handy. They had Thomas H. Handy. I don't remember what year it was, what the proof was on it. I have a picture somewhere, but I am not going to go dig through pictures. But man, I'll tell you right now, it was delicious, and it was so much fun to have. So that was kind of like my, what do we want to call it? Like my reintroduction to it. And I'm like, okay, I need a bottle. Like I have to have a bottle. So luckily for me, I was part of a holiday drop, and I got to snag one, and super glad that I did. I probably passed on other bottles I should not have passed on. However, I think the fun thing about this is, I know I passed on a Stag, George T. Stag. I know I passed on other things too, but again, I knew what I wanted. I've enjoyed every single ounce of this pour. It is fantastic. I have about half left, maybe 60% left. But man, it's absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it. It's probably one of my favorite things. So if you're ever in Syracuse, go to the Evergreen. Shout out to my friends, Teresa and Greg, for taking me to the Evergreen. That's now my second or third time I've been there, and every single time it's fantastic. Another fun fact, the Evergreen is where I challenged the bartender to give me something different that I have not had before that I would enjoy, knowing I like bourbon. Any guesses what she poured for me? She poured me the Jose Cuervo Reserva de la Familia Extra Añejo Tequila. And that is where I started getting into the tequila. Because that was the rabbit hole that I started to jump down, finding every single bottle of that I possibly could find. I have two of the same, two of the more recent releases, and one of an old release. And ever since then, that started my journey kind of exploring tequila. So when you go out to bars, like try things, right? Here's the thing. Fun fact. A bottle of something could cost you a lot of money. So let's just use this Thomas H. Handy Sazerac rye for a second, right? For example. So this bottle is $100 retail. You're never, ever, if you find this bottle for $100 anywhere, congratulations, buy it. Maybe you do it in a lottery. If you do, or like a holiday drop, that's great. Super duper cool if you get it that way, that's awesome, right? But most of the time, you're not going to find it that way. unless you put the effort in. So it's going to take it. You're going to pay extra for it. You're going to pay more money for it. I think on secondary right now, these things are going for like $600. I think that's ridiculous. I'd never spend $600 on this. But if you get the chance to buy one, buy it. But I'm telling you this because if you're at a bar and there's a pour you haven't tried, and you know how hard it is to find that bottle somewhere, or if you don't know if you want to spend the money on a bottle and you want to try it first, obviously within reason, try it. Absolutely do it. I know from my local bar that I go to, shout out to Allie, she's introduced me to a ton of bourbon and whiskey and tequila that I probably would not have tried if it was not for her. It is the same way I have found a lot of different bottles that I've had, like the Thomas Handy. I've had the JD12. There's a lot of other pours that I've enjoyed that I would not have had if I didn't pay for it. I tried the Remus Volstead. That was an older one. I tried the Bardstown Distillery, I think is how you say it. So there's a lot of different pours that are available that, yes, you're going to have to pay a little bit extra for it. But if the bottle's not available anymore, or if the bottle's hard to find, or if you want to purchase the bottle but you want to try it first to make sure you're not wasting your money, it's the perfect way to do it, because maybe you're out $30 to $40 to $50, right? Maybe even a little bit more than that or a little bit less than that. But the cost of the bottle is going to be astronomical. And if you bought the bottle and then are disappointed, you're screwed. So just a fun fact, sometimes bite the bullet and enjoy it that way. It's fun. Sometimes you get in good with a bartender, right? And you start, maybe you have quite a few pours that night or something. Maybe you just ask, say, hey, I've never tried that. Can I have a small sample of it? Sometimes they'll even do that if the bartender's cool. Obviously, you have to gauge I don't want to say the interest, but you have to gauge the bartender, right? And how much money you spent that night and stuff. But sometimes they do that. So super cool that, that they do that sometimes. So definitely something fun to have, or something fun to do. That's probably my most expensive bottle. All right. One more category, 2 bottles. All right, bottle 1, most proud to own. So for me, and it's still not even open, and I don't even know when I'm going to open it. Oh, I should have said the other one. Honorable mention. My ASW Fiddler, the Braves edition one from winning the World Series. So yeah, fun honorable mention there. Forgot about that one. That is tucked away. Chin music. That's what it's called. That's tucked away somewhere. And I said I would not crack that bottle till the Braves win the World Series. It's looking pretty good this year. Let's hope it happens. Shh, don't tell anybody. But yeah, so that's an honorable mention. I have in front of me a Jack Daniel's single barrel special release heritage barrel, back from bottling date 9/9/19. This was one of their special holiday releases that they did. They've also done the rye. They did another rye. They did a malted as well recently, but this is the heritage barrel, 100 proof. This thing is absolutely delicious. Thanks to, I think Michael had this one, Pints, Pipes, and Drams. I think Michael had this one at his house. And I've had it before. It was one then that I was always looking for. And then again, thanks to Michael. And see, this is where friendship makes a huge difference with things. And and vice versa. I find bottles for them that I always buy, and they find stuff from me. So, I know Michael found this bottle somewhere, a little bit more than retail. But he asked me if I wanted it for what he paid for it, and I said yes, which was super awesome. So shout out to Michael for that, for getting me this. But this is a bottle that I have not opened. I don't know when I'm going to open this. I will open it at some point. It's not going to sit here and rot forever. But it is a pretty special bottle to me. It's pretty freaking delicious. If you've never had this thing, it's pretty damn good. I like the rye that they released a couple of years ago with the green label. It's one of my favorite bottles of all time. That thing's popped and opened and almost half gone, and that's going to be a sad day when that's gone. But this thing's a banger. I love this thing. So one of my favorite bottles ever. All right. I do have another most proud to own. And this one comes with a little bit of a story. And there's a post. So I don't even remember what I traded for this bottle. Oh my gosh, what did I trade for this bottle? So I had a bottle that I didn't like. And I don't remember what it was. I'm like sitting here now struggling to think of it. I could probably look on Instagram while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, I'm going to look while I'm talking. But I had a bottle I didn't like, and I talking with Michael and seeing if he had any interest in it, and he did. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, what do you have to trade? So Michael and I went back and forth about it, and I'm still trying to find it. Like, I'm like, I need to find it. Where is it? There it is. I don't remember what I traded. Yeah, I don't even have on here what I traded. So Michael, you're gonna have to help me remember. But it was something I didn't like. And he said, hey, he says, I have a bottle of the OG Sweetens Cove, the 13-year-old. He's like, I'll give you that in $50 or something like that. I was just like, done. Right? Dude, this is one of those bottles that, like, I don't know. Like, when I got it, like, listen, would I ever buy this bottle? No. Absolutely freaking not. Is this bottle terrible? Yes. It is probably the worst freaking whiskey I've ever put in my mouth ever. It's bourbon whiskey. Ooh. It's probably the worst ever. But there was something when he asked me if I wanted it, I was like, you know what? I do want it. So this is the OG 13-year-old Sweetens Cove, the one that Peyton Manning was behind. The bottle's cool. The packaging's okay. The top's pretty cool. But it's pretty neat. So it's from what I understand, it's Dickel Distillate. Again, it is not good at all, but it's pretty cool to have this bottle. And it's pretty cool. I acquired it. You know, I didn't pay a whole ton of money for it because, God, weren't these bottles going for like $200 on the market when they were originally released? And then they do like a second release of them too, didn't they? I think they did. And I swear too, I don't even know if they make Sweetens Cove anymore. But anyway, I don't think they do. So again, all the more reason to have it. I don't know. It's one of the ones, if you go back and read my Instagram post, it's pretty cool. I wrote, yes, it's the OG Sweetens Cove. Yes, I know the stigma behind the brand. Yes, I know it's Dickel. Yes, it's actually the first Dickel whiskey I ever had. Oh, another fun fact. That's my first Dickel I ever had. All right. I'm remembering now. Let's see. Yes, I know it's just okay or not that good as I have heard it described. I'm here to tell you it's not good. It's not good. Yes, it's mine and part of my collection. Super excited to have it, as you know. Yes, I traded for it on a very fair trade. I talked about that. Yes, I'm kind of oddly excited, as you can probably hear. Yes, I will share it. I asked if anybody wanted samples. Nobody said yes. I wonder why. Maybe because it sucks. And yes, I'm going to yell Omaha, Omaha every damn time I pour it. And I named it Peyton because of Peyton Manning. So the bottle's got a name. Man, come on, that's cute, right? No, that's Peyton Manning. Anyway, so yeah, I have not poured this bottle since I got it. It is almost full. Almost up to the very top of the bottle. It is not good. But you know what? What did I tell you guys every single time I do a podcast? What am I going to do? I'm going to take a drink. Guess what I'm going to drink? Sweetens Cove. Bottle pop. Ooh. Oh, God, this is going to be so bad. All right. Cheers. Cheers, y'all. I hope this doesn't suck. All right. Ooh. It's minerally. All right. Fun fact. It's not as bad as I remember it. Very minerally. Tastes like friggin' Fred Flintstone damn vitamins. The grape kind. But it's not as bad as I remember it. So maybe I shouldn't be knocking it as much as I am. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be. But anyway. Fun bottle. So that's my swig for the day. But yeah, good stuff. Fun to have it. Love that Sweetens Cove. Love the story behind it as far as me acquiring it. So it'll be something that I slow roll in my collection and I have. So, but that's it. That's my list. That's episode 5. There was I didn't know what else I was going to talk about today, but I had this written down as one of my episode ideas. So, definitely something. Next weekend, I've kicked it around to my wife that we're going to go hunting in Chattanooga. So, that's pretty cool. I don't know if we're going to do it or not, but we're going to see. And then, Labor Day weekend, I'm supposed to be doing a bottle exchange with Nerds and Burbs. So if you heard episode 4, my chance encounter with Nerds and Burbs. So we've met, but not officially met. Weird, right? But I finally get to meet Nerds and Burbs. So that's pretty cool. I got a bottle swap I'm going to do with him and some sample swaps as well. So something he was excited to have that I did not want, that I screwed up and purchased. I'll have to tell you that story in that episode. But pretty excited that he's in the bottle trade that him and I have put together for that. So thanks again for listening. Appreciate everybody, every single one of you guys. Podcast has been doing pretty good. I'm actually dropping listeners, so my listener counts have been going down. So either I'm not putting myself out there enough, or I'm really bad at this. One of the two. Or I'm just not interesting. Maybe people aren't like, I don't want to listen to this dude for fucking 40 minutes. Who the hell cares? So one of those two is the reason. Don't really care. Again, this is for me. And if other people relate to it, that's awesome. But I have gotten some really good feedback from people as well. It was really cool. I dropped episode 4 on Thursday this week when I was in Orlando. I literally jumped out of bed, dropped the episode, and then got ready and had to go to my leadership conference. And I got back to several messages, several posts about it on Instagram as well. People saying great episode, and even putting it in their stories too. So I really appreciate that, guys. I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes me want to even keep doing it again, even not only just for me, but for other people too, because there are some people that appreciate it, and I'm helping some people learn, and they're just enjoying the stories as well. So thanks to all of you guys that have been huge supporters of the podcast. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you too. It's really cool to see. But if you guys if you're new to this podcast, haven't listened to episodes 1 through 4, definitely go back and listen to them. But thanks for even listening to this one. If you hated it, thanks for just the one. Appreciate that too. So cheers to all you guys. I'm going to finish this podcast. I am going to go finish smoking a gigantic 9-pound pork butt. I am going to make some homemade queso tonight. I am going to eat like a king later today before I have to start work tomorrow. So it's going to be fun. So again, thank you guys all for listening. Really much appreciate it. I am Jason. Ooh, sorry. Ooh. Oh, that dickle came back up. Do you hear that? Oh, not good. Whew. Dickle's got some bite. Easy. So again, my name's Jason. I very much appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. You can look for me on Instagram under @dram_amateur. Thank you all. Have a great week. Talk with you soon. Cheers and goodbye. Thank you for listening to the Dram Amateur Podcast.